Hey, y'all, listen, I'm in the building. I know it's late, but you know what? When I do those shows with Roy here, I need a little second of a break before I come live myself. Yeah, but I'm here. The Diva's here. You know, trending topics. We got to move forward with trending topics because there's always something to talk about. And I'm going to be quick tonight. Okay, we're going to be quick. We're going to go in, out, quick. The title is called What a Mess. What a mess. So you want to know why it's a mess? Because Wendy Williams had to speak out because her ex-husband is relentless. Thank you, Fancy. Her ex-husband is relentless. You know, I hate to say this, but many moons from now, when Wendy's in the grave, he's still going to try to get her money. This man filed a $250 million lawsuit. I don't know where the people getting these numbers from today. You Tyler Perry being sued for $260 million. He files a $250 million lawsuit, and then he got the nerve to not put Wendy Williams' name in it. He put Wendy Hunter. Wendy came out and said it sounded like a money grab because she ain't got nothing to do with this lawsuit. He's saying the guardian is taking advantage of her. He wants her out of the guardianship. But let's be clear, he only wants her out of that guardianship. So then once she's out, he's going to come after her for his money, the alimony. This man is relentless. You're talking about having no chill pill whatsoever. You dogged her when y'all was married for 20-something plus years. Wendy could actually sue you like Cassie sued Diddy. She should be suing you. You suing a guardian, talking about get her out this guardianship. But sir, we see you. You don't care about Wendy. You just want the money. Would this man get a job already? It's embarrassing. What a mess, though. We're going to talk about it. Then listen. The prosecution played this. We just didn't hear it. But now TMZ got the audio of when Cassie was threatening a guy who claimed he had a freak off or saw the freak off video of her. She said, I will take your life. She said, I'm not playing with you. And she said, I'm recording this. She said, I will take your life. But she said, I ain't never take nobody's life before in my life, but I will take your life. She said, you better show me that video. That's the innocent one. I told you those two was Bonnie and Clyde, thick as thieves. And then one day she woke up. Her husband told her, you going to go over there and get that money from Diddy because he did a lot to you. And then she got her lawyer. They wrote up the lawsuit. They sued him. And then boom, it was a whole trickle effect. But if the truth be told, if somebody would go in that Southern District of New York and tell the truth in that courtroom, they was Bonnie and Clyde. Because she got gangster. You going to hear it. And she said, I'm recording it. Not Diddy's recording it. Not he told me to come get you. I'm recording it. And she said, I will take your life. We're going to hear her Cassie out of her own mouth. Her words. What a mess. And I did a video on it already, but today was messy in the court. There was no court. Why? Because another juror talking about I got vertical. Called out sick. So the whole trial was held up because the juror called out sick. That judge got a whole hot stinking mess out there. And every delay is causing us more and more money. $500 million on one man in one case. I would, if I was a judge, I would have been like, y'all know what, prosecution, go back there, write another plea deal that this man could take, and let's end this thing. Because I don't want to be no more embarrassed than I already am. Let's end this thing. Offer him another plea deal. Offer him say yes to you hiring people to have sex. We're going to give you 2 years probation, 1 year served, and do like they did Jonathan Majors. They made Jonathan Majors go to a whole year of therapy. But for Diddy, we got to do 2 years of therapy, and we're going to test you every month for substances. And if you violate that, you will serve the rest of your time in the jail. It's a hot, stinking mess over there with that court. Then we have Cuba Gooding Jr., the man that has been accused of violating people over and over and over again. He don't know which side he want to be on. 1 minute he talking about he don't really know Diddy. He didn't go to no white parties. He didn't this. And now he's talking about something about, you know, supporting Diddy. Cuba, go somewhere, sit down and shut up. The last thing we need is you talking. Now, I told you I was going to be quick today. Usually my little monologue in the beginning, I get a little long-winded because the people be getting me all worked up. But today I'm keeping it short, especially since my computer seems to be acting right at this moment. So what do I need in the chat, y'all? Diva, how the heck do you keep that plan alive? Yo, that plan, let's not talk about it. She's trying to do right by me. I love her. My little prayer plan. She's trying to help me out there. So listen, y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what, y'all? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is what? Wednesday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title's called What a Mess. Cassie speaks. Cassie got gangster with that guy. Straight gangster. You want Rico? You better throw Cassie on the other side. She should be sitting at the defense table right next to Diddy. There go your Rico. Have y'all heard one tape where Diddy was threatening somebody? Not one. But your witness, we got a whole tape of her threatening somebody. Child, I cannot. We got Wendy Williams, Cassie, and Cuba Gooding Jr. I got one person here on the platform. You still with me, Felicia?
Hey, girl, I'm right here. I didn't get no vertigo. I didn't have to get off the train to go back home today, okay? So I'm here. Hey, everybody.
Hey, I'm glad you ain't getting no vertigo, okay? I'm glad you hanging in there with me. This judge is running a circus. When you hear this tape from Cassie, I said, that's Rico. She should be sitting right next to Diddy. And they should have raided her homes too. Hold on, let me share this screen. We gotta talk. We gotta hear Cassie. So, and that now the prosecution played this, y'all, because they wanted to be upfront. They didn't want the defense to come out with this. So, wait, hold on. Let me, because I gotta cue it back up. Okay. So Cassie threatened man over freak off video. New Diddy defense exhibit. Okay. So Diddy's defense played jurors an audio recording of Cassie confronting a man who says she told her he'd been shown a video of her doing a freak off. And now we finally getting to hear what was played for the jury. In a batch of freshly released Diddy defense exhibits, there's an audio file that Diddy's defense team says features Cassie making unalive threats to a man she called Shujet. I think that's how you say it. I just wonder when it gets queued back up. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you don't have to see it, but it's my life and I'll kill you. Yeah, but no, I will kill you if you don't show me right now. I will kill you and I will hide you and I will cut you up and put you in the dirt right now. Pull it up. If you have it, pull that up. Because if not, I'm going to kill you and then he's going to kill you again. So just do it. Pull that up right now. You got that pull that up. I'm going to kill you. You don't understand. I don't give a f. I've never killed anybody in my life, but I will kill you because you're with me. You're with me in my life right now. If I saw a video of you doing anything that you didn't want people to see, I would show you the video so you could tell me what the happened. You're playing games with me, telling me you saw some. Now you're saying you didn't see some. You're with me. I'm going to you up. I don't think you understand. And it's not going to be my hands, and it's not going to be blood on my hands. Someone else is going to do it. So you have to tell me right now, and I'm recording this whole shit. FYI, tell me what the you're talking about. Because this is not cool. We're not playing. I'm not playing with you, Sujit. Like, you saw some Yes, you're my brother. Be my brother and tell me what you saw. You're going to be able to find it?
Honey. So Diddy's offense plays your audio recording of Cassie confronting a man who she says had told her he had been shown a video of her doing a freak off. And now we're finally getting to hear what was played for the jury. In a batch of freshly released Diddy defense exhibits, there's an audio file that Diddy's offense team says features Cassie making death threats to a man she calls Shajette. The recording was played in court over a month ago during Cassie's testimony, but it's only now being made public. You got to listen to the clip. You can hear Cassie tell the man she will unalive him if he doesn't immediately show her the video. She says she's never unalived anyone, but will unalive him because he's messing with her life. Cassie says she never wanted anyone to see the video and demands he show her the video. And a couple times she tells him someone other than her will unalive him. The video was played for jurors May 16th when Cassie was being cross-examined. And the incident is from March 2014, and it happened in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Cassie testified she confronted him after he claimed he seen her in a freak off video. So I'm twisted it up. It was from the defense side, but it was during her cross-examination that they played it. So let's just hear what her lawyer said at the end.
Extremely challenging, but also remarkably empowering and healing for me. I hope that my testimony has given strength and a voice to other survivors and can help others who have suffered to speak up and also heal from abuse and fear. For me, the more I heal, the more I can remember. And the more I can remember, the more I will never forget. I want to thank my family and my advocates for their unwavering support, and I'm grateful for all the kindness and encouragement that I have received. I'm glad to put this chapter of my life to rest. As I turn to focus on the conclusion of my pregnancy, I ask for privacy for me and for my growing family.
Felicia, what do you think about the audio?
Listen, it's over a year now. Miss Ventura let me know who she is by how she treated her friends, the people who cared for her. So when she took the stand and there was all of this grace given to her, because her child had nothing to do with this. This is not the child's doing, this the mama doing.
Right.
I understood why that kind of grace had to be given. This was not something that anyone wants to have as part of what they've done to someone else. That audio, this is the first time I'm hearing it. I do recall the written testimony when they had shown us on the screen, where she told the person she would cut them up. She was going to take care of them. She was going to do X, Y, Z. And I think that was a turning point in her testimony. If I'm going back in my memory bank and remembering, it seemed like there was a great shift in terms of victim and not victim, and did we co-sign, and who is she? Who is she?
Mhm.
And so now listening to it tonight, I now understand why so many of the witnesses for the prosecution who are a friend of hers fell in line, because that's how she speaks to them. They hear her talk that way. And so she's probably galvanized them in ways. They know what she can do. They know who she knows, how she talks, how she follows through, and they just fell in line. Now, should she have been charged? Absolutely. She has broken some laws. She's illegal. She's immoral. She was paying people off as well. But prosecution, much like Banna and Mia, they said, the judge says, they were all doing the dope. They was all doing the substances. They don't remember. So we're going to let it go. We're going to let the perjury go. We'll see what the defense puts on whenever they get back, because I don't know if they're getting back. The Vertigo juror, we don't know how long they're going to be out, and that person is an alternate. Juror number 7, I think they're still on board. So we just don't know where this trial is going, where this case is going. But we certainly know that the truth has been stomped and beaten down and is dead. And so we're just going to have to go on what's left. I'm done.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Are we talking about the Diddy trial?
If you don't know, I'll skip you into the next.
Yeah, go ahead and skip me. Thank you.
Me too.
Okay. All right. So listen, hearing that, I was like, oh my. She was getting down with the get down. Those two was in the streets together, threatening people, slapping people upside the head, telling what they was going to do, when they was going to do it, and when they wasn't going to do it. So this is crazy. But the even crazier part to me is that the defense is 10 toes down that they want to wrap this thing up in 2 to 5 days. I don't even know what to say about that. But I have to wait and see. And wait and see if it's even going to be necessary. I don't think this juror that got the vertigo is coming back. I think that juror is done. I think that juror realized, you know what, this is a whole circus.
I wouldn't come back.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be a part of it. Didn't change.
I wouldn't come back either. I ain't coming back.
No, I ain't.
I got a doctor's note, and I'm not going to watch no more corn, and I'm not listening to no more lies, and you all aren't going to have shutting me up. I don't know if the chat knows that the judge told the jurors that yes, juror number 6 was excused, and you're not allowed to speak about it amongst yourselves. So you already know that you're not supposed to talk about this with your family or your friends. You know you can't talk to your co-workers, but your fellow jurors, you can't say, well, gee, what happened to Diva? She was sitting here with us for 5.5 weeks. And it's also been confirmed that when the judge admonished the attorneys about that article that got leaked about juror number 7, that he was in the public court and everybody heard him speaking that way. So yeah, if I was the alternate, I would have had vertigo. I got my doctor's note and I ain't coming back.
Yeah, deuces. Yeah. Yeah, the child running a whole circus. Shirley, you know what?
Your question, Pete?
Yeah, go ahead.
Quick question. Okay, they said they're going to wrap up about maybe two days. Do you think one side or the other think they've proven their case? I mean, do you think they feel like, hey, yeah, we proved out the defense or the prosecution? Because if they're talking 2 days, somebody must have some confidence that they like, hey, we ready. You know, we got what we need.
Well, I will tell you this: way before the trial even started, Mark claimed, and he's the lead counsel, that they ain't need that much time to prove what they got to prove. And he said 2 to 5 days, and it'll be. He said, but it most likely won't be more than 5. I don't know, because who do you really bring to defend Diddy? He's not speaking on his own behalf, which is smart, right? Because all the prosecution will harp on, and they done showed it 2,000 times, would be the Intercontinental Hotel video. And how do you explain that beating? You really can't. So it's best that he sit down and shut up, right? But I don't know who the defense brings up there, unless they got, a treasure trove of evidence that's going to refute, all the witnesses and things they say. I don't know. And remember, we're still waiting on Brendan Paul. I mean, I don't know if Brendan Paul is going to tell us about freak offs, or just tell us about the times, that he brought the substances to Diddy. I don't know. We got to see. So Sheila, you said it didn't change my opinion on her. I can tell she was on substances when she said those things. And Sheila, I'm not here, over here you can have your opinion. And I'm not going to, beat nobody down about their opinion, just like, y'all let me have mine. But it's interesting to me, though, that everybody else's behavior is excusable because they was on the substances. Well, Diddy was on the substances too, high level substances. So are we going to excuse everybody's behavior, or are we only excuse, the ladies' behaviors because they was, allegedly drugged up? Diddy was on multiple things. So are we excusing all the behavior? Or are we just going to excuse the ladies' behavior? I don't know. Right. Yeah. So I just, I find it interesting because a lot of people feel that way. Well, they was drugged up. Yeah. And so was Diddy. Mm-hmm. And that's why they all was making threats. They all were putting hands on each other, and they all were wilding out. Anything else before I move on to the next story? All right, so I'm going to roll into the next story, but hearing that audio was interesting to me. So I'm going to roll into the Wendy Williams story. Her husband, this man, well, I'm saying husband, the ex-husband, relentless. Is relentless. And the way that this Diddy trial is going, if you ask me, Wendy can sue him for trafficking, this, that, and everything else. This man is so arrogant. I mean, to sue for $250 million, and then instead of putting Wendy Williams' name, he puts Wendy Hunter. Sir, y'all are divorced. Are you serious right now? But Wendy came out and said she don't got nothing to do with that lawsuit, and it sounds like a money grab. So Wendy Williams says she has nothing to do with the lawsuit her ex filed over guardianship. Wendy Williams, I have nothing to do with with the lawsuit my ex filed. Feels like a money grab. So Wendy Williams' ex-husband is taking legal action over her guardianship, but she tells TMZ she has nothing to do with his lawsuit, and she feels it's a money grab. According to new legal documents obtained by TMZ, Wendy and her ex-husband Kevin Hunter filed a federal. Wendy Williams' ex-husband Kevin Hunter filed a federal lawsuit in New York to release her from the shackles of her guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, and claims the guardianship is not a shield to protect her, but a weapon against her. Thing is, we talked to Wendy on the phone after the lawsuit was filed, and she told us she's not involved here in any way, despite the docs showing Kevin trying to sue on her behalf. How is he even doing this? Wendy and Kevin divorced in 2020 after 21 years of marriage, and the split was, acrimonious. In the suit, Kevin claims Wendy, court-appointed guardian, is abusing, neglecting, and defrauding her, and says her guardianship is a punishment with no therapeutic purpose or protective function. Kevin says Wendy's component to make her own decisions, and claims she's competent to make her own decisions, and claims her guardian is ignoring medical advice to keep her in a fraudulent bondage. Wendy's been diagnosed with dementia, aphasia, and Graves' disease. And in the suit, Kevin says she's being over-medicated and claims healthcare professionals has described her as alert and oriented. He says she passed the competency evaluation in March 2025, but says no one petitioned the court to terminate the guardianship, leaving her in a captive of corrupt criminal enterprise. Kevin claims someone who works at the assisted living facility where Wendy lives photographed her in the private confines of her unit, including when she was in a state of undress. And he says the alleged photos were sold to media outlets for profit. Wendy's guardianship started in 2022 after Wells Fargo froze her bank accounts over what the bank said was suspicious activity. And now Kevin claims she was coerced into the guardianship due to the immense financial distress and emotional strain. Wells Fargo is among the defendants. In the docs, Kevin claims Wendy's former financial advisor, Lori Schiller, and her former manager, Bernie Young, exploited her trust and financial resources, spending tons of her money without her knowledge. Kevin also takes aim at Wendy's guardian, claiming Morrissey is doing a poor job managing the guardianship. The lawsuit seeks $250 million in compensatory damages, orders the release of Wendy from the involuntary confinement, and calls for Morrissey to be terminated as the guardian. And in this document, he calls her Wendy Hunter instead of Wendy Williams. So he's acting as if they're not divorced. Felicia, what are your thoughts?
You know, does it say who his attorney is? Did he file it?
It did not. And that's why I was saying, like, how did he even do this?
Sounds like he might have went pro se, where you're going to defend yourself. That's like, I didn't hear you cite any laws or anything like that.
No.
But there was quite a few things that he said, but I gotta admit, the one that stuck out was he said somebody took her picture in her private quarters and tried to sell it to the media.
Yeah. He's saying it was released.
Oh, it was.
That's what he said.
But Wendy said it sounds like a money grab.
Yes.
She has nothing to do with it. Well, it sounds like Wendy is getting stronger and clearer every day. She's fully is understanding what's happening around her. She's connected. She's making a statement. I'm not sure what her ex-husband wants. What does he want? He
wants money. He never had to really physically work for money. He just used her money. So ever since they got divorced, and really right after, like, he stopped getting his payments, he lost his mind because he didn't have access to money. He lost his Florida home. He lost everything. The wife, girlfriend, baby mama left him because there was no longer that money flow. So he's been trying to get access back to that alimony that he's missing.
Well, it sounds like he doesn't know how to save, how to plan, right? So for what, 20 years, he took and had complete access to her monies and her income. It was shared income, and he didn't save the money. So it's on him now, and he has no skills. That's his problem. So I wish he would leave her to herself so she can be well.
Yeah.
And stop coming up every 6 months or every 5 months and causing this disruption to her, because it's enough already. You did it for 20-something years. It's enough. I'm done.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts? Katrina, are you there?
Can you hear me now, Diva?
Yes, I can.
I'm like, get a job. Leave this woman alone. I mean, like, how much money do you want from her? She's giving you money, and you was using her on other women. And now you're still trying to go after her money. I'm so sick and tired of these people trying to go after these people hard-earned money that they earn for what? For you spent $250 million. You're not even worth $250 million. I mean, be for real. You lost everything that she had tried to build You tore it down. You broke this woman. This is ridiculous. Go find a job and find Serena with them flat tail pancakes that she was trying to sell. Go get with her since she was trying to sell vegan pancakes. Go find her and get money from her and leave Wendy alone. You sat around talking about you tried to lie and say the weather messed up your car. The folks found out that was a lie. You a liar. Leave this woman alone. Let Wendy do what she got to do on her own. If a family can't do it, you can't do it. You can't bully these people. They're not following in line like they did at the show. Leave this woman alone so she can have some peace, because you have just broken her to a point where she don't know where she's coming and going. But I'm happy that she's getting her back in her right mind, doing what she needs to do for herself and trying to fight for herself. She don't need you there trying to grab money when they taking all her money. Go sit down somewhere. That's all I got.
Oh, Wayne, your thoughts?
But isn't he's not suing Wendy, he's suing the Morrissey lady, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so he's not going after Wendy, he's going after her. However, I would say right message, but wrong messenger. So, I agree with Wendy. It's a money grab, but this man, he squandered his money. Other baby, the baby's mama. Every time she wanted to go out and do some entrepreneur thing, he financed that. A few things he financed, so he squandered his money. So it's no sympathy. I hope I can't see where he gonna get anything. He definitely ain't gonna get no $250 million from that lady. That's it.
Yeah, he's suing others too, but I don't think he's gonna get no $250 million either, because he's suing. How does he sue on Wendy's behalf? Like, this man is crazy. He's really delusional. This is no longer your wife. And in the documents, he wrote Wendy Hunter. Her name is Wendy Williams. Y'all got a divorce. I mean, he's relentless, and it's just a straight embarrassment. I'm gonna go ahead and roll right into the next story. Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. is a piece of work. So Cuba Gooding Jr. prayers up for Diddy and alleged victims. Won't see me throwing stones. Well, he's so full of it, and he's a liar, because he was throwing stones before. He was saying, I never been at a white party. I don't condone this. I don't condone that. Now I guess he got a little halfway change of heart. Let's take a listen.
What do you make of the Diddy trial so far? Are you keeping up with it?
It's a lot of information. It's a lot of information. I mean, how can you not keep up with it? You turn your TV on, you see it everywhere. But, like I said, I pray for the brother, and I pray for the victims, and I pray for Cassie and her family. That's all I can do from a bystander's point of view.
Do you feel a sympathy for him?
It's hard to, but yeah, I feel sympathy. They say he without sin cast the first stone is that thing. I don't judge anybody, but it's like, I will say this. Back in the day, the studio system used to have something called the PR department, and they paid people to hide the dirty secrets of the celebrities.
Of course. It's almost like a Ray Donovan almost.
And one day they went, you know what? Why don't we do this thing called a reality show and expose all the rewards? And so they're making money off of it. And then now we're hooked. Yeah. We used to look up at movie stars and say, oh, I want to be Clark Gable. I want to be Sidney Poitier. Now we look and we go, oh, there's some dirty motherfuckers.
Including you, sir. So Cuba Gooding Jr. Hold on one second. So Cuba Gooding Jr. said he's turning to the Lord during this trying time for Diddy, revealing he's praying for the fallen mogul and his federal trial case as his federal trial case creeps on. Okay, now my thing is acting up. It won't move. We got enough information there, because it seems like here it is. I was doing good, and now it seems like my little thing is stuck here. I'll see if I can. Okay, maybe now I can move it. We caught up with the actor at LAX Wednesday, and we asked him if he's been keeping up on the developments in Diddy's sex trafficking trial, which he tells us are darn near impossible to avoid these days. Of course, it's impossible to avoid. And that's why I will go back to this judge who should have sequestered the jurors. Cuba says he's keeping Diddy and his alleged victims, pointing to Cassie Ventura and her family specifically in his prayers. While Cuba says it ain't easy feeling sympathy for the bad boy hitmaker, he still musters up some, pointing to a Bible verse about not casting stones at a fellow sinner. Gooding talks about the old school studio system fixers too, who used to make problems disappear by cash or force, noting the admiration people use to feel for their stars has evaporated as Hollywood secrets have leaked out. Now, if you remember from Little Rod's lawsuit, his civil suit, he named Cuba Gooding Jr. in it also. But none of the civil suits can move forward until the criminal case is over. Worth noting, Cuba was sued alongside Diddy by Rodney Jones for allegedly touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones' legs, his upper inner thighs near his groin, the small of his back near his buttocks, and his shoulder. The lawsuit was dismissed in May for failure to serve Gooding and Justin Combs, Diddy's son. Gooding has always denied wrongdoing in the case and claims he barely knows Diddy. While the trial was canceled for today due to jurors' vertigo, Diddy's federal case is coming to an end quickly, with officials expecting testimony to wrap up around the end of the month. Cuba's got Diddy on the brain, leading with God's grace for his fellow star. Listen, this is a mess. Felicia, your thoughts?
You know, I thought Cuba went to rehab. Clearly he hasn't. He looked toe up in that clip, didn't he?
Didn't he with his sunglasses on?
Oh, he's a mess. You know, it's not just the Little Rod case. If you remember, he settled 2 other cases with some women that had said he had fondled them while they were in a bar.
Yep, I do remember.
Yeah, and Mr. Gooding was caught on camera. Yes, he was.
Yes, he was touching
the women up, going up under the dress, and all this other foolishness. And I thought part of the deal was he was going to go to rehab. No,
I don't remember.
No, you know, it seemed like Jonathan Majors really made some strong enemies because he got so much for running away. And these other predators are out here, and this might just be Predator Month, Predator Week. I'm just sick of all of them, just tired of all of them. And for him to be so, well, he was under the influence. So I'm gonna give Cuba a pass there. But I barely knew him. According to Little Rod, whose lawsuit they're using a lot in this case here, Mr. Gooding was there at the what is it, Star Island, quite a bit.
That part,
right? And I think he even showed us a photo of him and Mr. Gooding in the Tyrone Blackburn lawsuit, right?
Well, yeah, and it was just part of that article I showed too.
Yeah. Okay. So they were in the red room and everything. So you know, when you have an addiction, you know, alcohol, maybe some pills and things like that, you don't remember. So the next time somebody sees Mr. Gooding, they need to, sit him down and remind him that he was always up in Mr. Combs' place and he was hanging out with all the guests. And he was behaving inappropriately. He has settled quite a few suits himself. And no, not that. That's it. That's the picture from the thing. You're right, Diva. And
look with one hand around the neck. You see that other hand kind of closed? I ain't saying nothing, but you see where that other hand too?
Shameful. Shame.
He got a problem with his hands. He need to stop acting like he don't know nothing. Katrina, your thoughts?
How he gonna be praying for Diddy? He need to be praying for himself.
Well, you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing lie.
I'm just saying, you talking about you praying for Diddy, baby. You need to be on your knees praying to God for yourself. You can't heal nobody else until you heal yourself. And he said up to my all this stuff going. Yeah, you knew exactly what's going on because you was a part of it as well. You just lucky them charges ain't came and got you yet.
So you need, while you talking about you praying for Diddy, you need to be on your knees praying for yourself, because you better hope that thing don't do a boomerang effect and come back and hit you right in the forehead. You got away with them other two, but who to say that you're gonna get away with this with Lil Rod if they don't bring these charges back? So go ahead and pray, and nothing wrong with praying. I love God. I love all this, but go ahead and pray. But you better add a prayer in there for yourself too, because you might be in the same situation. That's all I got, D.
He the worst one to speak. Wayne, your thoughts?
Now, you don't be that close or put your arms around nobody that you don't know. I think that was the first time he met him. And I just don't know people who just all hugged up on somebody and they just met him. This ain't the first time, say the second time. And then they always want to talk about they found Jesus. Then he stopped lying. You ain't find Jesus because he wasn't lost. You was lost.
All right, Wayne.
And they always want to throw that up. And he walking that fine line too. You heard what he said. He said, I'm not going to throw stones. Because people live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And he know he was in that house. He's been involved with Diddy on those things. And I think Diddy probably told him, yo, I'm going to send somebody up to you. And Cuba thought it was going to be cool,
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
As I get ready to close out, I want to say that young man that took the life of the healthcare executive, is interesting how you never see an article about him calling him a monster. You never see anything crazy really written about him. In addition to that, they actually did a play about this man, and it's sold out. And I'm just saying to myself, how sick is that? How sick is that? It's sold out. Did a play about this man, and there are 30,000 people. Let me make sure I have the right thing here. 30,000 people have donated over $1 million to his legal fund. I introduced this to say it is crazy how one person, we're going to bury them up underneath a rock. In another person, we uplifting them. And all the crimes between both of these people is egregious, or the alleged crimes or whatever. If they would even think about putting a play out there about Diddy now, the people would have been falling out in these streets. They did a whole play about this man, and it's sold out. It's sold out. It's in New York. It's sold out. And I'm saying to myself, how sick are we? Sandy, I appreciate you.
He did all that, and the premium still ain't came down. So what did he do? You didn't do nothing. You unalived this man, and your premium is still up. They still denying cases. So what did you do? And then you was going to be a millionaire if you didn't do anything before you turned 26. So you went out and unalived this man. Now people raise money for you, but the money they was raising for you for your play or whatever they back your bail or whatever, they could have used that on their premiums. That is still high. That ain't came down since you went in there and unalived that person. That's all I got.
Bad Bunny, I saw that. The guy who unalived the Minnesota senators got bail and not Diddy. This is a whole nother conversation for another day, because it's
Are you serious?
Hold on 1 second, please. It's a whole nother level of crazy. It's a whole nother level of crazy. This man, they raised over $1 million for his legal team. A sold out play. These people literally went and took somebody's life, and all the evidence was in his car. All the evidence was in his car. They had his face. With Diddy, they got a bunch of girlfriends that don't remember date, time, places, who all got on the stand and said we was all jealous of each other, who was all fighting to be number one in his life. And he didn't snatch up randoms off the street to do these videos and go to these parties. They were already in that life, and he paid them to come do that life with them. And because he actually flew them from one state to another, they saying it's S trafficking. He's still paying one of his rent and the legal fees. I just don't make no sense. And to me, if you getting up on the stand and you testifying against me, then you should stop taking all the money that I'm giving you. You should have said, I'm going to pay for my own lawyer because I was done dirty. Why would you continue to take money from a man that you was claiming did you so dirty? This defense better put on a whole show because it don't make sense. Anybody before I close out?
Felicia, you working? I mean, I don't know. You know a lot about this. But if Diddy is found not guilty,
hold on. Let's close out. I'm gonna close out. So listen, guys. I appreciate.
Okay, I'll ask her off thing.
Katrina, please. No, please. Listen, guys. Y'all know the routine. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me late night. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. 48 years, I came through late. The train pulled out late. But it's just, I really want to one day, I got to have the time to have a whole conversation on how, and this is not me saying like, oh, Diddy did nothing, on how racist the country is, and we accept it. If they put out a story about my brother, we accept it. We allow it. We feed into it. And we roll with it. He's a monster. All they told us was baby oil, Astroglide, in some pals that was locked up behind the door. And when Jeezy and Jenny Ma was getting a divorce, she showed us footage where it was Armageddon up in that house and nothing was locked up, and their little baby daughter had access to it. You got the trafficking victim on tape talking about, don't play with me because I will unalive you. And there will be no blood on my hands. But you got people coming up there. Now they got an audio of that. You got people coming up there talking about, well, he said, she said, this one said, I think it happened in September, but no, it really happened in October. And the judge is like, no, it's okay. You don't remember because I know you was on substances at the time. How is that okay when you asking this jury of 12 to lock a man up and you bringing these witnesses on the stand and they supposed to be talking facts because that's what they swore they was going to do on the Bible. And now you telling us that it's okay if they don't remember. Where they do that at? So it's crazy to me that what's his name? Mike Jeffries. He's in the mental facility now. He tortured people. He's in the mental facility now. Because now he's saying he don't remember. Luigi is being treated like a king. And he literally took somebody's life. This guy went on I don't know if the other couple, I think they passed too. So I think it's 4 people. He out on bail. But Diddy was a flight risk. He's a danger. He's a monster. He's this, he's that, and everything else. Y'all know what I want, people. Hit that like button. I'll see y'all tomorrow night for Trending Topics. Tomorrow is Juneteenth. I hope y'all got some good plans. I hope my t-shirt come in the mail because I got book club tomorrow and I need my Juneteenth t-shirt. I may have to just get a pen and a marker and make me one. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Choo, choo.